Hi, I'm Catalina Maria Johnson here at South by Southwest 2013 on behalf of Beat Latino and Gozamos. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm here with two members from Trap Dogs. Now, the unlikely, from the unlikely location of
Dublin,
Cleveland,
but based in
Madrid, Spain.
So they're part of the Sounds of Spain showcase. So it's a treat to spend some time with Robbie and Garrett. Tell me a little bit more about the band and, just sort of like, it was a surprise. When I listened through the playlist, I was like, oh, these guys sound great in English. Well, of course.
Now you know why.
Yeah.
Now I know why. The mystery is solved. But tell me how you came to be based in Madrid and come up with the concept of the band. And
it's funny, myself and Robbie both moved to the States more or less a month apart back in to Spain, back in 99, I think it was, long time ago now. And I'd released a few records in Ireland before that, and I continued to release a couple of records in Spain under my own name, Garrett Wall. And it was funny because I met Robbie through Dave, who is our bass player. He's also from Ireland. And I had met Howard, the trumpet player, in an English school when I was giving English lessons. So through kind of a, weird way, we ended up sort of meeting together, and the band came about as a result of having played with Cajon, which is this, of course, in the logo, and trumpet at a concert. And I was so blown away by the sound of the trumpet and the cajon together that as soon as possible, when Robbie, he was in New York at the time, he came back to Madrid, I said, we've got to get this band together, and I know exactly who I want to play bass. It's Dave. And so it was just something that it happened, and I don't know, I guess fate, destiny brought us together. And for me, it was the first time ever that I was 100% convinced musically by something that I was involved in. So that was a big turning point for me.
that's a very, very rich sound to have the cajon. It's amazing what one instrument can do. Now, had you been playing anything resembling the kind of music that you play with the cajon already and kind of exploring that avenue?
Well, I first knew about the cajon from Afro-Peruvian music, which is funny because a lot of people in Spain assume that it's a Spanish instrument because they use it in flamenco.
But Paco de Lucia.
Yes, yeah.
You set them straight. So
and
tell
I
the story.
No, it's Peruvian, and so but I did get interested in flamenco after studying Afro-Peruvian music a bit, and so I wanted to go to Spain to study the cajon, and then I started playing it in different types of music, sort of in place of a drum set, playing it in Irish folk, playing it in Spanish, other types of Spanish folk music, and then eventually got around to playing sort of more original music for country and then pop, and trying to replace the drum set. You never, it's not going to sound exactly like a drum set, but in trying to play that role.
They call Chicago, where we're based, the Windy City, but I think Austin's giving it some competition about now.
Austin, we have a problem.
So that is, another thing I was thinking as I listened to you play, in terms of the cajon, I was thinking of the Celtic influence in northeastern Spain, in Galicia, and I wonder if you've explored that at all in your music, or it just sort of might happen just naturally.
Indirectly, because actually there was a project that we were to do with Enrique Morente, a flamenco singer.
Yes.
And we met him months before he passed away, and we prepared a song that's a Galician folk song. Which song was it? The El Mandil de Carolina. And we played it live a few times, and that was probably the closest we've gotten to. But I have played a lot of Galician folk music with the cajon, and also the panderetas, the tambourines, and the tamboril, the sort of snare drum type thing that they use with the bagpipes and that. So personally, I've played a good bit of that stuff, but I would say it's probably indirect. Maybe stuff is soaked in by osmosis because we've been in Spain for 14 years, or one other guy 10 years, another guy 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Now, where do you music like this that has kind of like origins in one place and gets transplanted to another, how do you see it, the possibility of it evolving, and will it change? Have you seen it change in the time that you've been together?
Oh yeah, definitely. When we started off, it was very much just these four instruments, and I was singing, and then the trumpet player Howard started doing harmony. So it was, for me, it was a big step, because to have somebody singing harmonies was something I always wanted, and Howard is such a good singer, it meant that we could do things I'd never been able to do before live. And now, over the last 3 or 4 years, we've added in, although it's not in the logo, we've added in banjo, which Robbie plays as well. I play a bit of ukulele. Dave, the bass player, also plays ukulele. And the four of us sing now. So to have 4-part harmonies on top of the richness of these instruments, I think it gives it a pretty unique sound, or something anyway that allows for further development, further evolution.
And you're composing some songs with lyrics in both languages?
Well, we just wrote a song called La Banda, which is...
I heard it. That's the one I heard.
Yeah.
One of the ones I heard, yeah.
Great, yeah. And that's fun, because people have always said to us, well, why don't you sing in Spanish? But we always say, well, people aren't really that interested in hearing us sing in Spanish. They'd rather hear us do what we do. And there's plenty of people who sing in Spanish better than we do. So, and so this song came about we wanted to do it with a group that we met in Madrid, who are based in Mexico now, in DF. And we had the idea of calling it Dos Bandas Un Destino. So at the end we decided, well, they couldn't do it, they moved to Mexico, so we said, right, we'll call it La Banda, and this is about us and all other bands who are out there.
They've probably been up here.
No, I don't think so, but they've been out touring. We've been out, it's for all bands that are touring and who are basically on the road trying to make a living, trying to get their music out to other people. So for us, it's kind of an emblematic song in that sense.
And now you're part of the Sounds of Spain showcase, which is, a surprising kind of thing. How are people in Madrid and Spain reacting to your music? Are you pretty easily able to connect with the audiences? Or I know, well, actually, there's a lot of Spaniards even singing in English nowadays.
Yeah.
So I guess you're.
Oh yeah, a lot of Spanish groups sing in English, and that's great, because it makes them more international. Which is, obviously they have the Latino market as well, but they're interested in breaking into European and North America and everything. In Spain, we've a good fan base, and we're very happy to be able to tour so much in Spain. And we communicate pretty well with the audiences. I think our level of Spanish is good enough that we can make fun of ourselves and tell a few jokes, and that always helps. Some bad jokes, some usually bad, but yeah, I mean,
Track Dogs. That's a very unusual name with an interesting story behind it.
Yeah, it does have a Track Dogs is the nickname that they give to the sort of maintenance crews that work in the tunnels in the subway in New York. And I actually saw them coming out of the tunnels, like these miners or sort of paramilitary group. And there was some kind of mystique about them, and they were this team that works together while the trains are actually circulating. And so there's a guy at each end that has to keep an eye out for the rest and blow a whistle when the train's coming. And they're called Track Dogs. It's kind of an informal, nickname that they have.
It also means if music doesn't work out, we have an alternative career already mapped out for us. And we have the name now. We can join the Track Dogs Union or something like that.
Well, Robbie Garrett, thank you so much for spending time with us at South by Southwest, and good luck, and hope to hear you here or in Madrid or.
Carolina, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and hello to everybody in Chicago. Thank you.
Yes, and it's actually, there's a lot of Irish in Chicago. They're celebrating hard this weekend.
That's right. Yeah, we'll be doing our best. Yes, on Sunday, St. Paddy's Day, we'll be having a pint or two.
We will so.
Gracias.
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 I'm easy like Sunday morning.